Many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. We'll begin with this very shocking revelation from Nigeria's Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, that over 80% of Nigerian university professors are unable to come up with good research proposals. The executive secretary of the regulatory body, Suleiman Bogoro, said this while speaking at an interactive session organized by the National Universities Commission, NUC, on Wednesday. Bogoro explained that low capacity to write good quality proposals is the reason why some professors are being denied global grants for research. Now, in order to check the situation, TET Fund has made 10 million naira available for all beneficiary institutions for capacity building and training for research proposal writing. According to the National Universities Commission, Nigeria currently has about 9,000 professors in the university system. President Muhammadu Buhari has announced that he will dissolve the current Federal Executive Council on May 22nd. The dissolution will be ahead of his swearing-in ceremony for his second term on May 29th. The decision was revealed by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, at the end of Thursday's Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja. Mohammed noted that until May 22nd, the cabinet remained intact. And still on national matters, President Muhammadu Buhari is set to travel to the United Kingdom on a private visit. This was revealed by the presidential spokesperson, Femi Adesina. Now, according to Adesina, the president will remain in the European country until May 5th. This will be the president's first visit to the UK since the start of 2019. In 2017, he spent 51 days in the UK on medical vacation, during which Vice President Yemi Osinbajo assumed the role of acting president. Before leaving for the United Kingdom, President Muhammadu Buhari visited Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, where he commissioned some projects done by the state government. The projects include a new industrial hub, 3 primary schools, and some housing estates. The president's visit to Borno was preceded by a similar one in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. In Lagos, the president commissioned 4 major projects carried out by the Akinwumi Ambode-led administration. This next report has more details.
This is President Muhammadu Buhari's second visit to Lagos State in less than 6 months. And his first stop is the newly reconstructed Institute of Maternal and Child Health, popularly known as Ayinke House. The president is here to commission the institute, which is Nigeria's biggest maternity hospital with a 170-bed health care and state-of-the-art medical equipment. After the unveiling of the plague and cutting of the tape, the president, accompanied by the state governor Akinwumi Ambode, took a tour of the facility. The tour was followed by a speech from the state governor, who expressed optimism that the facility would provide quality health service to thousands of Lagosians and Nigerians.
The new Ayinke House is completely digitalized with state-of-the-art medical equipment as well as information technology services supported by the state's Ministry of Science and Technology. Mr. President, as a state, we are aware that universal and basic primary health care is one of the cardinal priorities of your administration. Following this direction, we have consciously worked to bring quality, affordable and modern health care to all our citizens.
The president also commissioned the Echo Theatre, an art facility expected to boost tourism in Lagos State. Oshodi is the next stop for the president. There he commissions the expanded 10-lane Murtala Mohammed International Airport Road, which has been redesigned to include 2 flyover bridges and 5 pedestrian overhead bridges. And saved for the last is a $70 billion Oshodi Transport Interchange that can accommodate 820 mass transit buses. Speaking after the commissioning, the president lauded the Ambode-led administration for the high-impact project, which he says has brought about infrastructural development and opportunities for job creation.
Reflect the plan and success of our administration as we pursue policies and programs that will positively impact on our citizens. the new Ocean Transport Interchange, the mass transit medium and the high-capacity public buses, and the reconstructed Murtala Mohammed International Airport Road by Lagos State Government. Here they demonstrate the need to continue to provide high-impact projects for the development of infrastructure and opportunities for job creation at all levels. This transport interchange with 3 different terminals is going to change the face of public transportation. The mass transit buses, totaling 820, will also move the people of Lagos State in a more comfortable and more efficient manner. These projects by Lagos State are perfectly aligned with the effort of the federal government to improve the country's infrastructure, especially in the transport sector.
Governor Akinwumi Ambode took the reins of power in 2015 after serving as the Accountant General of Lagos State for 6 years. Under his administration, the state recorded its highest internally generated revenue of 333 billion naira and has completed more than 500 projects. Fidele Aguncha, TV360 Nigeria.
Pirates off Nigeria's oil-rich south have stormed a small oil tanker, kidnapping 6 sailors. This is according to the International Maritime Bureau, IMB. According to the IMB Piracy Reporting Center, the APICOS, a Palau-flagged petroleum products tanker of 3,100 deadweight tons was attacked on Friday as it was anchored off Bonny Island. The IMB says it has notified the Nigerian Navy of the attack and an investigation has gone into the incident. Meanwhile, the Navy is yet to officially issue a statement on the development. Nigeria has been a hotspot for piracy incident over the past decade. The country reported 14 pirate attacks for the first quarter of 2019 compared to 22 in the same period in 2018. The federal government is set to launch an electronic border solution to combat cross-border criminality. The Minister of Interior, Abdurrahman Dambazao, made this known at the end of the weekly FEC meeting this Thursday. The move will help monitor the 86 border posts spread across Nigeria. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, is alleging that illegal miners provided bandits with weapons and cash to fuel crisis in Zamfara State. The minister made the claim during live TV program on NTA. He explained that business booms for the illegal miners in a crisis-torn and hostile environment. The federal government had banned mining in Zamfara State and ordered foreigners within mining sites to leave. The government also launched a special military operation, Puff Adder, to curb the activities of bandits in Zamfara. The acting Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has ordered the immediate reversal of the shift duty structure of the Nigerian police force. The force currently has a 12-hour, 2-shift system, but the police has directed that it should be changed to the traditional 8 hours, 3-shift standard duty. Adamu gave the order while declaring open the Conference of Heads of Police Medical Facilities at the force headquarters in Abuja today. The federal government of Nigeria has been encouraged to further the implementation of various programs initiated to reduce poverty rates in Nigeria. Country Director of ActionAid Nigeria, NLB, during the launch and dissemination of the third-party monitoring report of the National Social Investment Programs in Abuja, stressed the importance of a highly effective social protection system for Nigerians, especially women and girls, and there's more details in this report.
In recent years, there have been several attempts by government to alleviate poverty and strengthen social safety net programs for the country's poor and vulnerable. ActionAid Nigeria says third-party reports have shown an increase in school enrollment, empowerment of vulnerable members of the society, and productive engagement of more youths. But as the country's population and poverty gap continues to grow, efforts to do more must be intensified.
ActionAid strongly recommends that the NSIO should ensure that relevant stakeholders are involved in the review, the redesign, the implementation and monitoring of the NSIP for better outcome from the community level down to the top. We're doing a lot at the community level at the moment, but we can do better. Careful and detailed consideration should be given to the criteria for appointing the state focal persons, because sometimes we have realized that certain things have come there. And the coordinators or the coordinating officers of the various programs within the NSIP, the selection process should be competitive enough to ensure that qualified and experienced applicants are appointed. The NSIO, I know we are giving you a lot of recommendations or things that you can do better, but we're very proud of the office. The NSIO, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency, should embark on a massive nationwide, especially at the community level.
On our part, the senior advisor to President Buhari on Social Investment Program says the dividends of the program shows the commitment of the government to ensuring better standard of living for Nigerians.
We're feeding more than 9.5 million children at the moment. So, and we're feeding them through 101,000 cooks. They get their payments directly, not through any third party. We're in over 56,000 schools. We have also with I've spoken about the 4 programs. So all together, we have over 12 million direct beneficiaries. But if you talk about the farmers, every week we need at least 6.8 million eggs from the poultry farmers. We need more than 700 cattle. We need, don't talk about the chicken, the oranges, because it's a balanced diet, and our menu is predicated upon what is available and affordable in that state. So we're working with the communities to try and make it a wholesome empowerment project. And the amounts of money that has gone into our rural economy is really massive.
We were and still remain determined to fashion another path that will bring development closer to the people and improve their living conditions. One of our strategies is to quickly revive confidence in the commitment of the Commission to facilitate sustainable regional development. And so beyond being called to service, we are aware that the Niger Delta Development Commission must take surer steps.
The NSIP is a wide range of programs launched by the federal government in 2016 to deliver social economic support to the disadvantaged Nigerians across the country. The programs include Empower, Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, National Homegrown School Feeding Program, and the National Cash Transfer Program. Oyi Adekunle, TV360, Nigeria.
The Nigerian Senate has expressed worry over the gruesome murder of British humanitarian worker Fayemuni in Kaduna last week and the spate of insecurity across the country. The lawmakers say the situation is capable of tagging Nigeria in a bad light before the international community.
Second day running, security situation in Nigeria, especially in the north, was the major issue on the floor in the Red Chambers at the Thursday plenary. The killing of the British aid worker Fayemuni in Kaduna State is unsettling the Senate, and this prompted the motion brought sponsored by Shehu Sani on the issue. Interestingly, the motion was co-sponsored by the remaining 108 senators.
The recurrence of this banditry, where foreigners and tourists are involved, may put Nigeria's diplomatic relations on the line, thereby raising red flags to other tourists who may wish to visit Nigeria. Concerned further that the northern parts of Nigeria has become a theater of killings and kidnappings, especially states like Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, Kaduna, and Niger. Kajuru in Kaduna State is notorious for killings and kidnappings.
We must take this very seriously because the implications are so many. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, it is obvious that with what has happened in Kaduna and what happened in other places, Nigerians will continue to be profiled abroad as those who cannot be trusted. It affects innocent Nigerians who travel out of Nigeria. And so we need to do something about this.
In a debate that lasted more than 2 hours, the Senate President admonished his colleagues to speak as statesmen and patriotic citizens, and not as party men.
In addressing these issues, we need to be frontal on what has led us to where we are today. And we must not see it through our political party platform and see it as a problem that all of us need to address. And where there is fault, we must be bold enough to say where the fault is. And where there are sanctions that need to be taken, we must be bold as well to say so.
Now, still on way forward, I want to suggest, Mr. President, that the issues that we are running away from, particularly the issue of state police, which we are running away from, has become the most important solution that we'll look at, because we need a synergy between the security operatives and the locals. In other words, the vigilante. In every community, if there is this synergy, if there is this partnership, it will reduce this menace drastically.
The ways forward, the solution, Mr. President, is to fight corruption. The bottom line of all these things is corruption. Now, people help themselves, when they're in government positions and so on and so forth. Now, the villagers are sitting in the village. They look at you. Maybe they know that before you join this government force or this work or political whatever, this was your status. We know people in this country that were peasants, were almajiris in 1990. Today they are super billionaires. Their names are being mentioned even on Facebook or whatever as billionaires in themselves. We know them. They have never been into any business in this country. We know it. But they are billionaires and nobody can question that and nobody can say anything.
Who are the key drivers of this process, of these killings, this violence? The youths. What do they have? They have two important assets: idle time and a lot of energy. And it is also said, an idle brain is the devil's workshop. Until our youths are engaged, Mr. President, this problem will continue to be with us.
The killing of the Briton has brought more to the table than Nigeria needs to address. Diplomatic issues, loss of tourism potentials, foreign investment challenges, food security issues are among the issues the country needs to address. At the end of the deliberations, Senate resolved to invite the Acting Inspector General of Police, Abubakar Adamu, to brief the Senate on security situation in the country. With the picture painted by the lawmakers at the plenary on Thursday, it is obvious that security is a major concern government needs to attend to urgently before it gets out of hand. Adeshowa Dushoga, TV360 Nigeria.
You're still watching news now on TV360 Nigeria. We'll be right back after this break.
House the crashed countries have been rescued alive from the rubble announcing the fact. Voters are what shows to have a ballot.
That election has been postponed and Nigerians are reacting.
Area of Lagos as early as
Some minutes say the incident has been managed.
This morning.
Time now for the business side of the news with Oyi Adekule. Hello, Oyi.
Hi, Aneta.
Please bring us up to speed with the latest in business.
The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved consultancy services for training programs for Nigerian youths under its social investment program. The program for the northern youths is for training in script writing, animation productions, amongst others, and will have a beneficiary of 1,500 youths, while the training for the youths in southern Nigeria is for software production services with a beneficiary of 2,000 youths. The Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udo Udoma, gave the details at the end of the FEC meeting. The Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, has been holding a stakeholders workshop on the SON Act 2015 in Lagos. According to the agency, the event is in tune with the efforts of the federal government in turning around the country's economy. The SON Act 2015, enacted into law by the 7th National Assembly, empowers the agency to check substandard products in the Nigerian markets. Some stakeholders who were at the workshop also share their opinion on the act.
It is a very revolutionary enactment. It is an enactment that is all-embracing, that empowers the SON, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, to be able to carry out his mandate of ensuring that the Nigerian market is sanitized. Because the problem, the challenges we face today as a country is the challenges of substandard products, challenges of fake products, challenges arising from importation of products that are unsuitable for the Nigerian environment and Nigerian consumers. So what the SON Act has done is to take a holistic look at some of these challenges and come out with a comprehensive legislation to address some of these challenges.
It's for all stakeholders to work together where there is a substandard product, by companies producing substandard product, or substandard products are coming into the country, and that source is blocked by the activities of SON and all other stakeholders. It makes for a better economy.
SON has been implementing the law. If you see the SON Act of 2015 has done is to empower SON more. But SON has been performing its function. The only thing is that those penalties they were in the past were so small, so minute, that criminals can use that and commit an offense that actually affect the life of the people, and they are charged very small. Now, if you commit such offense, there is not even the number of years you are going to be jailed, but SON can jail you. Apart from jailing you, you'll be meant to pay higher charges than before.
Brent crude oil on Thursday rose above $75 per barrel for the first time in 2019 in the wake of tightening sanctions on Iran, while gains in U.S. prices were crimped by a surge in U.S. supply. Brent crude futures rose to a 2019 high of $75.01 per barrel and were up at 33 cents, while U.S. crude futures were at $65.94 per barrel, up 5 cents from their previous settlement. Traders said Brent was receiving support on Thursday from a halt of Russian oil exports to Poland and Germany through a pipeline due to quality concerns. The United States this week said it would end all exemptions for sanctions against Iran, demanding countries halt oil imports from Tehran from May or face punitive action from Washington. We'll be taking a look at activities on the stock market right after this break. After 2 days of decline this week, the Nigerian equities market is making a rebound to the positive territory. A summary of the market performance showed that over 566 million shares were transacted in 4,103 deals, and this amounted to 7.269 billion naira, and that pushed the all-share index up to 0.07%, while market cap closed at 11.244 trillion naira. Seplat, of course, is doing better, outdoing itself this time around. From being the second worst performing stock yesterday, that's in previous session, Seplat led the gainers today, having made 23 naira gain. It is followed by Forte Oil. Again, we see Dangote Flour still on this chart, sustaining its winning streak. And of course, 1 naira made the difference for Nigeria breweries, and that's equivalent to 1.56% rise. To the market fallers, we see today that Guinness and Julius Berger are trailing each other, both stocks making 10% loss respectively. And the only difference is that while Guinness lost 5 naira 40 kobo, Julius Berger incurred a loss of 2 naira and 50 kobo. Dangote Cement and UACN also did not perform so well today. Moving on to foreign markets, FTSE dropped 0.50% as industrial sectors weighed down U.S. markets. Dow Jones also slides nearly 200 points after earnings of manufacturing company 3M dropped sharply. The Nikkei share average rose 0.48%, as you can see, and that's to 22,307.58 basis points. That's all on the stock market review today. It's back to Aneta.
Thanks for that update, Oyi. Let's now turn quickly to Sri Lanka. There's an update on the bombings, as we see that the government has declared the leader of the National Thawita Jamaat group, Sazaran Hashmi, wanted for orchestrating the attacks carried out on churches and hotels on Easter Sunday. A video released by the Islamic State group after it claimed responsibility for the attack that killed 359 people appears to prominently feature Hashim. The brown-faced cleric is the only one of 8 figures whose face is uncovered. Dressed in a black tunic and headscarf and carrying a rifle, Hashim is seen in the IS video leading 7 people in the Pledge of Allegiance to the group's chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. The IS video is the first concrete evidence of the apparently central role played by Hashim in the Easter attacks. Now, former U.S. Vice President Joe Biden has announced that he will be contesting against President Donald Trump for the White House in 2020. The party's 76-year-old senior statesman now became the most experienced and recognized Democrat in the race. In a tweet accompanied by a 3.5-minute video, Biden said he could not stand idly by as U.S. President Donald Trump fundamentally altered the character of his nation. Biden, whose working class appeal remains intact despite nearly half a century in Washington's politics, is seen as a comforting known quantity for American voters who will be voting some 20 Democrats now officially in the presidential field. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, has paid $260,000, and that's 94 million naira to each of the 24 teams that qualified for the 2019 African Cup of Nations, scheduled to begin in June 2019. The money is an advance payment each country will receive for participating in Africa's elite sports tournament. The preparation cost was approved by the CAF Executive Council before the draw for the 2019 AFCON in Cairo, Egypt. The tournament, hosted by Egypt, features an expanded format from 16 teams to 24. The Super Eagles, who are considered favorites of the tournament, are in Group B alongside Guinea, Madagascar and Burundi. World number 1 Naomi Osaka made a winning start to her clay court season after beating Taiwan's He Shuwei 6-4, 6-3 on Thursday to move into the quarterfinals of the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix. The twice Grand Slam champion, who was yet to win title on clay, found little resistance as she avenged her defeat to Hishi in Miami last month. Victory also meant she will hold on to a world number 1 ranking after this week. Osaka will next face Croatia's Don Vekic, who beat Daria Kasatinka 6-1, 7-5. April 25th is marked annually as World Malaria Day. It's a day set aside to recognize global efforts to end malaria for good, while also creating enlightenment for the prevention and cure of the disease. Now, on this occasion, our correspondent finds out how this global epidemic is affecting children. One of the world's smallest animals, yet one of the deadliest. The mosquito is not more than 6 millimeters long, but it's responsible for the death of over 430,000 people in 2017, according to the World Health Organization. What's worse is that the insect kills 1 child every 2 minutes. This pediatrician at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital explains why.
it's children that bear the brunt of the disease. Okay, and in my practice, there is no day you won't see a child with malaria. Adults over the years have acquired some immunity to malaria. The children haven't acquired it yet. Okay, they are still growing. So as they are growing, if they were infected with malaria, they won't be able, their body immune system won't be able to fight it as well as an adult who has acquired a lot of antibodies over the years. Okay, that is where vaccine will have helped us.
Late diagnosis is a major reason why people die from malaria. SNY advises parents to promptly take tests and seek medical care once they detect symptoms of malaria.
A child who is having a high body temperature, who is running a fever, a child who is no longer eating, okay, has lost appetite, okay, or a child who is no longer is not playing again. A playful child all of a sudden is not playing again. There is malaria, or the older one may even complain of headache, or they may be vomiting, okay, and some may present with convulsions, okay, febrile convulsions. Some of these are symptoms of malaria. When we are living in an endemic area like Nigeria, those symptoms, we will first think of malaria, okay? And WHO has said once you are suspecting malaria, you go further and do a test for it. But our people will go from one place to the other. They won't be managing what is the problem, okay, until it becomes complicated. By the time they are coming, help will be too late.
But prevention is better than cure. SNY also gives tips to prevent the spread of malaria from mother to child.
A pregnant woman can acquire malaria and she cannot transmit malaria to the unborn child. Okay, so the baby can come down with what we call congenital malaria. Okay, because those malaria parasites, okay, the same way they infect the tissues in the mother, they can also infect the placental tissue, and through the placenta they can get to the baby. So the baby can come down with malaria when the baby is born. However, in our antenatal care, one of the packages in antenatal care in Nigeria is treatment, preventive treatment of malaria for pregnant women. And they give them this treatment, they call it IPT, 2 doses during the pregnancy. For a woman who attended good antenatal care, they usually get those treatments to prevent malaria in the babies. Pregnant women can also protect themselves the way other people do by sleeping under the insecticide-treated net, okay, making sure that their surroundings are also clean, okay, and when they are ill, of course, they don't wait. They have to go to hospital so that if it's malaria, it will be treated.
The fight against malaria took a global dimension 27 years ago in 2007. This year, the theme of the World Malaria Day is Zero Malaria Starts With Me.
Everybody can play a role. If I keep my surrounding clean, I'm going to reduce the breeding opportunities for the mosquitoes, and then people around me, mosquito will not come to bite them. Okay, so if I do my own and keep my surrounding clean, okay, and my next door neighbor is also keeping theirs clean, okay, because if I keep my own clean and they don't keep theirs, of course they will breed there. Mosquito flies everywhere can come to my place, and of course people who are infected, who has malaria symptoms, should go to hospitals so that it can be cured, because if not, mosquitoes will come and bite them and then transmit it to other people.
Though mosquitoes are attracted to the body temperature of humans and the carbon dioxide we exhale, malaria is preventable and treatable. A total eradication of the disease can be achieved through innovation, and already the WHO is making headway with the newly launched RTSS malaria vaccines. And that's it from here on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. Many thanks for watching, and bye for now.